wave or what?
I don't know.
He's still level 1 with no experience. Oh, I'll have to watch that because usually the bear's gonna pull the creep wave up to him, but I guess I don't. Surprising.
Maybe Crystal Man was doing a pull into it or something. Who knows? Yeah, look at this. Look what Aki just did. So he's trying to pull the wave into where the bear was pulling the wave, but that time he did actually get it past. Picks up 3 melee creeps. One of these ranged in the catapult is probably going to be
And mid,
denied,
if you look at mid, I think Loda's gonna die. Yeah.
he
Really
does
good
get picked
gank.
off. Oh, I did see the AA game coming in. He still has a stun actually, but there's a lot of plague wards up. Shadow Poison's not going to finish him up, so good gank there. I'm actually going to see a buyback from Venomancer. A little surprised about that one.
Man, why did Loda just buy back? That's horrible. You can't just buy back like that early game.
And he waited a
was
little
up.
bit of time as well. He didn't just buy back as soon as he died. It was a slight
You think it was
delay.
misclick or something?
I don't,
no one
I don't
just
think
buy-
that's possible.
Yeah. Look, he just said, Yeah, I think it was a misclick. I don't know. I don't think he meant to buy back. Because no one in their sane mind would buy back at that point. New interface, yeah. Okay. Unfortunate for Loda. That actually cost him a lot. So, it's like 3 or 4 creeps.
Yeah, that's too bad. Looks like he's going for an Aqua. He does have a Wraith Band up, so he has some bonus damage at least, but going for the Catapult, and it looks like Miracle's going to pick that one up. Currently up to level 4, and more pulling from Aki as well. Pulls the Creep Wave. Did Light of Heaven finally get some EXP? Yeah, it's up to level 2 finally, so good stuff.
Pycat's farming well. He got the early kill. He's up to 30 CS. But, okay, crap, we missed the early, the smoke kill on the creeps. If you look at Puppy CS, is up to 30. Look at top.
Yeah, I see
Misery's-
that. Misery is being dived on. Oh, great stun from AA is going to catch him. But the creep's taking a lot of Edict damage. Misery doing a nice job juking this out a little bit, but there's no chance him surviving. He pops the wand actually. Might try to sacrifice himself to tower, but gives the gold to Leshrac, which I guess is better than giving it to a host.
Yeah, but they did kill Light of Heaven bottom.
Again.
So that was better. Yeah.
Oh,
they
you
killed
took-
Light. Oh my God, Pycat.
He just
That was
died
a rough-
to
Yeah, he
a
just
Pugna.
died. He doesn't have any
Oh.
level in Spell Shield. He has 2 in Blink.
No wonder that did so much damage. Holy crap.
I don't know about this. Like every time I see Pycat play AM, he always skips the early level of Spell Shield, which I think is key for an AM. Like level 1 Spell Shield does 26% magic damage. He would have lived there if he had that, but he just wants an extra level of Blink to be aggressive with.
Yeah,
don't
maybe
know.
he just wasn't expecting a ganking Pugna at this point, who is level 5, you know, doing the 250 magic damage, so.
It's actually pretty big. He had quite a bit of gold there saved up after getting the kill. But interesting, the safe lane off lane Tide Hunter. He has died, but he's getting levels up, and he's hard to kill.
And Dendy's also spending some time in the jungle instead of sitting mid for some reason. Even going to see some Venomancer Plague Ward slowing this down a bit. Courier's swinging all the way over to Hobos. He's going to do some damage. There's a stun of Misery. Another Edict coming through, trying to put all the damage on him. And it's a level 3 Edict, actually. Very interesting skill. Hobos is going to barely get the kill. 15 HP, pops the urn, and that prevents the Plague Ward from getting the kill. There will be a Gale on Arzart, though, so Arzart will be going down.
A good gank there by Loda. And looks like Miracle's just soloing mid for now. He's up to level 5. While Dendy actually has no farm. He doesn't have as much farm as he did at Viking. He's only up to 11 CS. While this level 6 Pugna that got all the stacks is up to level 6. And he's just doing a lot of damage.
And he's doing like a dual lane situation. Also, Decrep is going to be very useful in the middle of the game for anybody that Anti-Mage dives on. Just prevent him from attacking them. We'll see if he picks up a Spell Shield here since he is level 7, but he might be greedy and go for the Mana Break. Yeah, he is going to go for it.
I still think even though he's versus Syllabear, like 1 level of early Spell Shield is just good. I mean, you don't need the early level of level 2 Blink that early, I guess. It's still level 6. I mean, it does increase the range to like 75, it decreases the cooldown, but you can get that later. And looks like Loda's in trouble top. He's being way too aggressive up there.
He is going to get picked off by A as well as Hobos there. Hobos now level 7. His ulti long on cooldown, uses their urn to heal back up once again. And I'm a little curious about the Tide build on Misery. He went for double
Look at mid,
gush.
Dendy's in trouble, but
Ooh.
he did get the early level in W versus if he went for the early W, or if he didn't go for the early W, he would have died there, definitely.
Yeah, and if you guys are wondering why that is, because Ghost Walk requires at least one Wex with Quas to go invisible. So he went invisible immediately, and there weren't any sentries or dust from the Radiant team to get that. So very, very close. How do you feel about Tide's item build, our skill build, Double Kraken?
It's a bit weird. I mean, the Kraken's fine, but he has no Anchor Smash. I think you need at least level 1. Anchor Smash is just such a good spell.
We'll see a Gush go on Havosi. He's going to take the last hit. Loda's also going to pop an ulti. There's the Gush. I bet he could really use an Anchor Smash right now. A couple more hits going on Havosi, but the Edict damage coming through. And Arzart not going to be able to kill, trading hits. And they're both going to disengage. So Havo's going to die. Ooh, close one. 70.
No, I think... Yeah, I don't... Even if he had the Anchor Smash, he would have lived there, but it would have been close.
If he had 2 levels of Anchor Smash, he would have gotten a kill.
Yeah. It looks like they're going to go on bottom. I think Light of Heaven's in trouble. Well, they're going to go for Puppy instead.
It's the first blast. It's the Netherward. Oh, that was a huge ulti from Anti-Mage there. Bear trying to do some damage, but gonna escape as well. He's got Phase Boots up at least. And Bear is very low HP, so he's gonna resummon it. We're gonna see a Sunstrike. Not gonna catch him.
Yep.
Haven't really seen a whole lot of Sunstrike thus far. They don't really have the disables to start it off with. It's like they have to land a Split Earth, and that's their only option.
Yeah. And, so far... Dendi, he's not doing that well, but he's getting the levels he needs, and Miracle's actually getting some farm. But it's ironic. Puppy, the like jungle Pugna was like the most farmed hero on the map right before that. He is up to 46 CS. He had 1 kill. He had all the neutrals camps. Like that's really funny. Think about it. Jungle Pugna, highest level in the game.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's doing the same thing. It's the same principles every game. You grab a hero who has a lot of AoE at a pretty low spammable cooldown, you use some bottle crowing to refill your bottle as you get up to like level 3, and then you stack it up, use the smoke, and just really accelerate the amount of damage that your AoEs will do. So, I mean, there's probably tons of heroes you could do this on. The hard part, I think, like I said before, is making sure that you have the courier to bottle crow once or twice.
Yeah. If you look at the level difference, it's somewhat even, but we have 4 heroes on Navi that are above level 7 or so, while only 3 are like that on CLG. Misery has his level 6 though, which is really important. He's gonna have Ravage and he can start helping in the team fights. If they get a really good Ravage off with good Gale and AM gets a few kills, that's gonna be really big for CLG.
And Anti-Mage does pick up a DD at the top rune, but probably won't be able to utilize this. Actually, Arzart going to run into this. Aki as well does the Frostbite, looking for the slow on somebody. It's going to be on Aki, and the A is about to die though. Sunstrike coming through, not going to land on anybody, and Vos in a lot of trouble. We might, no, not even going to waste the Ravage. That's 2 heroes that go down immediately. They dropped the Observer Ward while they were there at least, but unfortunately ran into a lot of CLG. Didn't expect that many to be there, I think.
PJ actually had a double damage there.
That's right.
So that was a lot of damage for the Night Stalker, and he had the Soul Catcher on him too, so that was just insane. Like he went down like that, and they're gonna try and push mid. Loda does have his wards up to level 4, and they're just gonna try and siege mid. And Dendi doesn't have, he's not gonna be close to that 4 staff anytime soon. I mean, he has 500 gold, but it's gonna be another 3 or 4 minutes if consistent farm if he's gonna get that. And he's still not close to the he's gonna, since he got the early level of Wax, he's gonna get 4/4 later on.
Ooh, there, jump on a Miracle. Great disruption on himself to preventing the blast as well, but the Meteor, wow, that was really bad for him. He did a great job, but it wasn't quite enough. It might do a little damage to Loda as well. Ulti on Dendi, and the Plague Ward's doing a little bit of damage here, but forcing CLG back from that one.
Yeah, Miracle didn't expect the early Meteor. Like, with this build, you don't get the early Meteor since you skip a level of Wax. But, oh, Ravaged by Misery right there. And they're gonna try and get a roast. He's blocked in by the ward actually, and he has no TP. He's dead.
Man, there we go. Double kill for Venom actually.
Oh, and look at mid.
Oh, Dendi
Ike actually has sentries on his hero. The AM has sentry wards on his hero.
Oh, wow.
And he came mid and he TP'd and he planted the sentry ward and killed Dendi. That was a really good move by Pycat there.
And picked up an Observer Ward as well. So Vanguard treads up on him, and surprisingly Navi not doing nearly as well this game. It's actually 9-8. Do you think we could focus it on something like just not having as reliable of heroes? Like no stuns, they've had a Lone Druid solo bottom, who's currently, still bottom. Actually, he's in the jungle, excuse me. Trying to make up for his lack of Radiance.
Well, he's Light of Him's actually getting some farm right now, even though he got the early 2 deaths, but like you said, they don't have the early farm, and they kept Dendi from leveling well in mid lane, and that's just been affecting him right now. He doesn't have the early forward spirits like he had last game of the 2 forward spirits, and they're gonna try and go on. Havos is not gonna kill. It's gonna be hard for them to kill Pycat. They have no base stun really, and that's the thing. He went for a good choice by him to go Vanguard. I guess more hams are just trying to go Vanguard right now.
He's got 9 charges on his wand as well, which will be nice in the next team fight. Looks like CLG is shifting towards the top lane. Ravage still in cooldown, of course. He does have an Anchor Smash, though. And Bear getting sent back for Light of Heaven. He's going to go hide behind the tower, just in case. He actually went for 1 Rabid this early. Interesting choice over the synergy for the movement and attack speed, I guess.
Yeah, I think 1 Ravage is fine, but I always get my ulti at 6, regardless of what happens. So interesting.
Do you actually use it, though?
I mean, some points it's actually useful to get the early level of ulti, just for tanking. But I guess he was off lane, so... And I usually play safe lane Bear. It looks like I'm gonna go on Puppy. Puppy dies so fast with Soul Catcher on him.
Yeah, he does. There's a deafening blast catching 3 heroes, but the rest of CLG is running away. Arzard actually runs in, but a little bit of a mistake there. Nice ulti from the anti-mage, and the entangle comes through. Great disruption from Miracle. The Sun Strike is not going to get the kill. So close. 36 HP. Dendy with 4 stacks on the hero. Gonna banish the damage in any second here. He does get picked off. 520 damage done, and CLG winning great team fights. Everybody survived there. Wow.
Yeah, this is an awesome fight, and I think the MVP of these fights have to be Miracle. He's using his spells so well. He used Disrupt right there as soon as Pycat was entangled. I think if Dendy got a few extra hits, and Pycat would have died. But he was and he's getting all the Shadow Poisons off, and is getting really good ultis off. Like, Miracle's playing really well.
Yeah, unfortunately for Navi, Pugna went so aggressive there. He just didn't see him. The Radiant team had the ward up, so they saw Pugna in the front. The Soul Catcher started off the ulti, and he had no chance of surviving that. He really has to stay a little bit more careful. At the very least, can't eat all those ultis like that. So, but it's a pretty common Pugna build to have this much mana pool. It's not that unusual, but as we just saw, it was not enough tank.
Yeah. And so far, Puppy's going for the headdress, but if you look at his HP, he only has 700. And they have good slow and good burst on Radiant. And if Pycat starts attacking Puppy for 3 or 4 hits with like a gush on him, he's gonna die so fast.
Invisibility.
And
it looks like, yeah, Pycat's going for the Vlads. So.
Yeah, Vlad's once again. Corey bringing something to Venom. It's gonna be a Vitality booster, it looks like, just to boost up his survivability. He actually doesn't have an Arcane Boots. He went for Power Treads instead. And he's maxing out Poison Sting next. Interesting item build. Does apply very, very nice slow, and it actually does a crap load of damage. Especially if you apply that to multiple heroes during a team fight. But
yeah, I actually like going for a Poison Sting level up before a Gale, like what Loda's doing. Each right click is just so much damage. Obviously the Gale is the AoE damage, but if you can like single target someone, like maybe if you can get like 3 or 4 hits into Puppy, that's just so much DPS on Venomancer.
yeah, it really is. 20 damage per second at max. It applies to 14% slow, so very, very good stuff. Still, though, 4 staff up on Invoker. He's at 850 gold, so not quite up to his quarter staff. But gank coming top. Looks like Aki is in a lot of trouble. The Bear's coming through, wants to pick up the kill. Then Pugna does get the last hit. And now chasing after Tidehunter, there's the next Mana Void, and no chance of him surviving this. He's not going to Ravage this, might as well saves it, and actually kills himself to the ward. Kind of funny.
Yeah, that was a bad series of events there for CLG. They wanted to pick off Light of Heaven, but the thing is, when he has the early level Rabid and the phase boots, he moves so fast, and it's hard to like kill him without any base stun. They got the slows off, but even then he moves fast.
Here comes the Sunstrike on Miracle. It does finally get a kill. We're going to see an ulti from Loda at least. It's going to put Night Stalker to take him a bunch of damage, but it's actually daytime now, so he's very, very slowly running away, but he'll be fine. I think he'll survive this.
Yeah, compare Dendy's like how he did last game to this game. He's just not doing as well, because he was versus dual lane mid. He didn't get complete free farm like he did last game, and he didn't get the early Sunstrike kills, because they don't have the early aggressive stuns like they did to set up Sunstrikes. And that's the reason I didn't like their lineup compared to last game. They had Sand King stun along with CM, and there's just better stuns overall for Dendy hit the Sunstrikes.
And he does finally have it finished, so there it is. 4 staff completed, decent attack speed, damage, movement, positioning, etc. And the rest of the Radiant team still farming up. Let's compare Lone Druid's farm to Anti-Mage's. So, I mean, Navi can still win this for sure. They definitely have very good late game. They have a Lone Druid currently. He's got a Ring of Health. I don't know where his Bear is at, or how much gold he has. He's up to 2,900, so he still does not have his Relic. And at 17 minutes, so it's not the end of the world. He's getting there.
Yeah. And the goal lead is actually still in Navi's favor. Surprising to see that. I think just because of the tower kills that Puppy gave them. Yeah, like now CLG hasn't gotten any tower down, but they did get a few kills, and it's not looking like last game, which is good for them, definitely.
And they will pick off the Nether Ward. They take the tier 1 tower. See if they shift towards the jungle and look for a team fight. They still have a Tide Ravage up. Tide Ravage is now level 9 with 2 Anchor Smashes and a little bit of Kraken Shell as well. Treads on him, so not really a lot of Arcane Boots actually. Shadow Demon has one. They have one Arcane Aura, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, and Havus has gotten the kills, but he's not that farmed. And it looks like Miracle's actually gonna go on him. He uses Purge, and yeah, it looks like Havus is gonna die here.
Great
Soul
Frostbite.
Catcher damage, just so much.
Yeah, it really is. I think it's one of the best skills in the game, personally. But
You can just snipe and burst people down, and synchronizes so well with his other skills.
I know there's that Skywrath Mage or something has an ability kind of like that. It's like a single target burst damage, but I think it's only for magic resistance. So Soul Catcher is so good. You can use it for so many things.
And Pycat has 900 gold, and he has his Vlads, and he's gonna go for Manta probably next. So he's farming actually well. He got 5 kills. He has 5 assists. He didn't get the tower kill, but they got 2 tower kills on mid and top, and they're just playing in the aggressive because he's just so tanky with the Vlads and the armor aura, and it's just gonna be hard for Navi to straight up kill him. Puppy does have his mech though. That's good. One good thing.
Yeah, we'll have the heal. Actually, they're going really aggressive. That Demonic Purge at such a huge range. Great 4-step from Denny. Completely keeps him alive there. I think he was dead for sure if that 4-step did not happen.
Sometimes the Purge range is actually longer than it shows. That was really long range.
It was like halfway through his animation or something like that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Alright, in the meantime, Lone Relic is up on the bear. So there's the new Sacred Relic if you guys have not seen it yet. He's just a short, like 1,200 gold away from having a Radiance. Then the bear will do magic AoE damage around him at all times, 40 damage per second. Not to mention he of course gets plus 60 damage at this point. Bear can carry items. One of the, I think, are there any other cases? I think that's the only case of, other than Meepo, I guess, of having multiple item storages.
No, it's actually somewhat good farm for Light Heaven. I mean, it's not like the fastest Radiance, but he's got it anyways, even with 2 deaths.
Yeah, his
So
GPM is at 283, which is not great, but it's respectable.
Yeah, so he's gonna have this another 2 or 3 minutes if he farms at this rate. He's gonna get the jungle, and I don't think their CLG is gonna try and gank. They want to get bottom tower. They want to just follow around Pycat, which their plan is. In late game, like AM has a huge advantage on Syllabear because you can just go around, kite him, and the thing is, they do have the early the other damage from Dendy's Forge Spirits, and that's gonna have to factor that in, along with the Night Stalker and the Silence, these kind of things.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like you said, the Vlads and the Vanguard are going to help him survive against those things that hard counter him. And Anti-Mage's real hard counter is physical damage, pretty much. So they're going to have minus armor from the Forged Spirits. They're going to have Lone Druids being able to apply an Entangle, which will prevent him from blinking, and just all-around good physical damage. But he actually transfers the Relic back to his primary hero, probably just to farm a little bit faster in the meantime. But it's definitely, this game is not over by any means. It could go either way at this point. Anti-Mage could go into ridiculous farm mode. Lone Druid might get some lucky procs. Maybe we'll see Anti-Mage die a couple team fights and outfarm them. It could go a lot of different ways.
Yep. And I guess Pyke just wants to keep the lane static. They're not really trying to push bottom. And top lane's pushing out well, so he might TP there after. There's a huge wave top, and Miracle's farming that right now. And Miracle is pretty close to his mech. He has his buckler, and he's close to his headdress.
And we actually have a Yasha up on the Venomancer. Do you think he's going to go for a Manta style here or a Sanjin Yasha?
Manta style, I think.
Oh, be good against Fear. There's that at least. Can remove debuffs. So they would
Yeah,
have
I don't
that
think
advantage.
Sanjin Yasha is ever that good of an item.
Yeah.
Like, Manta is just so much better.
Except for
gives
maybe
you
on
the
like
escape.
Juggernaut or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Very few heroes, I would agree. It doesn't really do anything really, really well that Manta doesn't also at least slightly accomplish. So
Yeah. So Loda is actually pretty farmed. I mean, he does do a lot of DPS, and he's going for the carry Venomancer build.
oh, you said Lotus, yeah.
Yeah.
With Treads up as well on that, and he's got really good attack speed at this point. He's got good movement speed as well, and now the push is coming through. Vlad's up, applying nice armor. These creeps are more or less invulnerable to towers, It really does apply a lot. Every point of armor applies about 6% extra HP against physical damage if you only take physical damage, so every single melee creep has so much more survivability against the tower if you do have a Vlad's up.
Yeah. And they're gonna just try and siege this with the Venom wards. I mean, Loda's right click damage is really high right now. I mean, his attack speed, like you said, and Mizuki does have his Ravage up. He's not that farmed though, that's the thing, because he's off lane. But he got his levels and he's close to level 11, which is gonna be pretty big. Well, the only problem is his mana pool is actually pretty small because he went for power treads.
Alright, there's the burst nukes on Anti-Mage, ends up surviving. It takes a stun though, but it's going to get disrupted by the Shadow Demon. We'll see Tides coming in for Ravage, thinking about Elise, but the Radiance is coming through from Spirit Bear. He's doing that burn damage, could just right click on Miracle and get it picked off. Great lane in as well. He did get a little bugged, stop for a second, but we're both still in the mix. Another Silence Gun on Misery. There's an ulti as well by Pycat, and while Tide dies without getting the Ravage off, Spirit Bear still pursuing Crystal Maiden drops. And that first team fight with a bear on Radiance is such a terrifying experience for the other team, but they're also going to catch Loda.
It was a surprise there.
Wow.
And what happened is Navi did it really well. Havos put the Crippling Fear on and Misery, and no one attacked him at all. So he had the Crippling Fear for the entire duration. So he had no chance to get the Ravage off.
At the start of the fight or after the elongated chase?
No, just like the start of the fight, he had Crippling Fear on him, and it lasts for what, quite a long time in the night, 8 seconds. So for the entire 8 seconds, he couldn't Ravage.
And in the meantime, looks like Lone Druid's going to pick up the Aegis. He's up to 1200 gold now. It's going to make it nighttime as well, so they may just continue their push here. He's going to have to resummon his bear, or he's going to send it back to heal, but still just regular boots on the bear. Light of Heaven himself going for the Radiance plus the phase. It's usually you keep the Radiance on the bear a lot, but he's playing it safe here. He didn't want his bear to get killed and not have the Radiance for a period of time. He's actually going to be in range for him for a little bit here. He does have the Aegis up, so, and this way he can actually hit the tower from range and be a little bit more safe about it. And there comes the transformation. Here comes the Ravage, possibly from Misery. Great Deafening Blast pushing back, and another Fear as well. Tornado coming through, slowing this down. Puppey is in the mix. Ravage does land on Puppey, catching Arzart as well, but Havos is in the mix. Looking for the stun. Stun gets Kraken shelled off of Misery. Puppey immediately dies in Light of Heaven, auto-attacking to victory. We'll see if he kills Misery. Does. Changing targets now. Loda backing up. Another urn is used, looking for more voids, but great block from Loda. He's now going to get away from this one. Anti-Mage still chasing though.
Yeah, Pyke did a really good job there of going for Dendi as soon as he was deeping. And even though the fight didn't go well for them, they got the kill. And looks like he's going to get Miracle.
Light of Heaven's Bear, I don't know where it is, could resummon. And Anti-Mage hiding. Is he trying to get Havos? Havos already has his Aghanim Scepter, holy crap.
Yeah, that's really big. He's level 16 with Aghanim Scepter, and that's going to be night, like, level 16 this early is this night for so long. It's going to be night for most of the game right now.
And Lightning does push out the wave a little bit, so only hero that is not here is going to be Dendi, who is back in base. He's got his Blink Dagger finished as well as his Force Staff. He's going to wait to buy one more TP scroll, then he's going to go mid, I think. Yep, and there he goes. There's the Blink Force Staff. He's actually going to the top lane, so, but they do take the tower, so putting the Radiance back on the bear, giving him some really good demolish damage. Now his Radiance is going to burn away some of the HP survivability. And Anti-Mage is very close to his Manta style, so he will be able to do a little bit more in follow-up battles.
Yeah, and Puppey's going for, he has the point booster, so he might go for the Aghanims, like you said. And Light died in that fight. So he's not that, I mean, he has his Radiance, so I wonder what he's going to go for next. Probably maybe a Vlad's. He has a Ring of Regen.
Vlad's is actually one of the best items against Anti-Mage, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because he does so much physical damage. I see a lot of heroes like low armor support heroes just getting cleaved like crazy. And just they take so much damage from the Anti-Mage that they die so fast. So if you can give all of your support heroes 5 extra armor or a chainmail worth, he does pick up the Vlad's by the way. But if you can give all of your supports that 5 extra armor, it helps out so much at reducing the damage.
Yep, and he's probably going to go for the AC next. I think that's probably the most logical item progression for Bear. And interesting to see he has the phase boots on his main Bear, not the actual Scylla Bear. Usually people switch that up. But Pycat has his... How close is he to Manta? Yeah, he has his Manta right now. It's on the chicken. So that's going to be pretty big. But the goal lead is still on Navi's favor right now. Like, Pycat really is the only farmed hero on Radiant. Loda is somewhat farmed, but not that much. He has his ulti orb on the chicken though, so he's gonna have a Manta as well.
Yeah, it'll create a lot of confusion. Good pushing power as well, actually. Ranged mantas are so good for pressuring Rax towers, but there's still a bunch of tier 2s out, so I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but what do you think? Wow, Lone Druid's already up to 2k gold. Are you kidding? Like, buys of lads and he's still ready to go. I do think he'll probably upgrade the bear boots eventually, don't you think? Or do you think he's just going to keep him on regular?
I guess he's gonna go for armor. I mean, aura stack on his main bear. So I think he's gonna rush the AC.
Huh.
Yeah, he's up to. He's gonna have his hyperstone if he wants that right now.
It's a little slightly different than most people build bears. Usually they put all the items on the bear itself and just make sure that the main one is tanky enough to survive.
Yeah, he bought a hyperstone right now on his bear, and his ratings is on his main one, so he just transferred it.
Okay.
Puppy's pretty close to his Aghanims. He's around 500, and that eye is actually really good on Pugna. Like they're gonna have to aim him pretty fast. Or he's gonna do a lot of damage on one of the supports.
And just be survivable. I mean, they don't have that many stuns. They have a Disruption, they have a Frostbite, and they have a Tide Ravage, or even Anti-Mage Mana Void. But what basically happens is Life Drain with an Aghanim Scepter not only drains a lot, but has 0 cooldown. So you can just get stunned, reactivate it, tank up while doing the damage. So can use that against support heroes, and generally just provide for much more tanky experience.
And Misery, it's not even close to his blink. I mean, he's going for the pipe, so we're not going to see a blink. But he's hiding in a really good corner there, and he's going to get a really good Ravage off. Yeah, that was an amazing Ravage on every single person.
Catches 4. Venomancer's going to pop up an ulti as well, but here comes the nukes from Dendy, casting 3 spells, does tons to Misery, and ours are also still alive. 3 heroes go down. Apparently, Puppy gets picked off as well by Anti-Mage, and looking for an entangle on the Anti-Mage. Are they going to get him? He blinks away just in time. Lone Druid actually transferring forms. Surprisingly, he must have leveled up or something. And Anti-Mage picks up Night Stalker, I guess. I heard an ulti.
Yeah, he uses ulti, and Havos had like 400 mana missing, but it was enough since he was so low. He had Soul Catcher on him right before he died, so he just took so much much damage taking the tower.
There's the cold slap on Anti-Mage.
Wow.
Oh, he gets the entangle as well. He might end up going down. The Sunstrike is going to pick up the kill on Pycat. Huge plays, that cold snap into the entangle. That couldn't have gone better for them. That was so good.
Yeah, Sunstrike is pure damage, so it doesn't get affected by magic armor. So that was just insane event there. Like, he got really lucky. Like cold snap, he had no ability to blink. His Manta style was on cooldown, and there's just no way he would have gotten away.
Yeah, the reason it triggered so often is because they had Radiance damage plus heroes hitting. So if you have a lot of damage, very small damage over time, plus a cold snap, it's talking about lots of procs, lots of chain disable. Might as well have been like a 3-second stun.
Yeah.
So
even though Dendy's Invoker didn't do as well early on, like that fight, he used 3 or 4 spells. He used the Meteor Blast, and then I think he got Alacrity off, and then a really good Sunstrike. Yeah, it was an insane fight. He totally he took down Loda really fast. He took down Misery, and he took down Miracle. So a lot of damage done there by Dendy.
So he is going for his pipe. Doesn't actually have his hood picked up yet, but he's getting kind of close. Still needs another ring of regeneration. And about to buy his Ring of Health, I think, but they're really splitting their farm up a lot. That's one problem with CLG at the moment. They definitely don't have the map control. Na'Vi can farm in their jungle while taking their jungle as well. So if we look at the gold graph, we're looking at a 10k advantage for the Dire team. And Havos grabbing a drum since then, plus a Ogre Club. So going for BKB next, probably?
Yep. That's the thing about Na'Vi. Like, every time you see them play, they split their farm up really well, like you said. Teams like yesterday versus when they played M5, only like 1 or 2 heroes were farmed, while Puppy gets farmed. Like I said, Puppy gets farmed. Everyone except Smile gets farmed. And in this case, he had 9 kills, so even he got farmed. So just looking at the farm difference on every hero, it's just so much bigger than looking at what Ake has. He just has a smoke. He has like a dust treads, and that's about it. And Miracle just has a mech, and Misery barely has anything, just a pipe. So huge farm difference by everyone on Na'Vi compared to CLG.
And Puppy placing a Nether Ward, a little interesting, into the Roshan pit. Just keep vision up there for a little bit of time. I don't know what the respawn timer is, but it must be soon. And the rest of the Dire team pushing up bot a little bit. And once again, Invoker goes the same build. Arcane Boots into a point booster, and he will be finishing his Aghanim Scepter as soon as possible, but might be a bit before he gets it, maybe another 5 minutes.
Yep.
CLG.
I think at this point, it's just, I don't think it's going to be even just adding to the damage, but it won't make that much of a difference. They can burst down, I think, Miracle. And the Pugna Ward is doing actually a lot of damage in the fights.
Yeah, if you guys don't know how that works, There is the icon. So basically, if somebody casts a spell within the range and they aren't magic immune, they'll take damage from the ward before they cast, but they still cast a spell. So every point of magic that is spent, you take 1.5 damage for that. So if you spend 200 mana, you take 300 damage. So it adds up very, very quickly for a lot of heroes. You have to be careful to make sure to kill the ward first, or that you're magic immune, or that you, I don't know, just are very conservative with your casting or something. I don't know. Those are pretty much your options.
Right now it's affecting Loda probably the most, because his ulti is 300 mana, so the damage is pretty high, and he has to use a Gale, and every time he uses wards it doesn't, like, it just adds up on Loda. So, and it's affecting Misery as well. Ravage is not that much of cost efficient, but
We'll see a Demonic Purge go on Hobos. The illusions are actually going to drain a lot of his mana here, but he'll kill them pretty quickly using the bear. The AC is finished, so his attack speed is ridiculously good on his bear. Primary hero just sitting on phase boots, so gonna continue to have good positioning with that. And the nice thing about AC applies, the armor aura is slightly wasted because it does not stack with Vlad's, but it gives you an attack speed aura to all you and all of your allies, as well as a minus enemy aura.
yeah. I don't know for sure whether it's better to put the Vlads on your main or the bear, but I guess Light of Heaven's putting on his bear.
Yeah, that's true. The only thing that doesn't apply, that applies to the solo hero now, is the regen. Gives you 2 regen per second, but you could argue that the bear actually needs this a little bit more than the primary.
Yeah. And I don't know. At this point, CLG is just gonna wait for Pycat to get even more farmed. I wonder what item he's gonna go for next. I don't know for sure if he needs the heart. Maybe some more DPS. Maybe a butterfly or something like that.
Yeah, Butterfly would give him a lot of survivability against Lone Druid. Every time you miss, that's less chance to proc, so you could look at it similar in some ways as like a Blacking Bar. But Havos is trying to catch Loda. They are pursuing on this one. He will have a Manta split if he gets Feared or Silence, but there's the first slow. There's going to be a Gale as well, which he'll bait out, but nothing happens with that. And Illusion's mid-dying. Both teams just poking and prodding. What are they waiting for primarily? Just Roshan probably, and then they'll go for pushing?
Yeah. I didn't write down the rush timer, but it's up now. Never mind. They take it down so fast with the AC aura.
Yeah, Cold Snap also helps a lot, but they're going to pick it off. Lone Druid snags, and immediately CLG shows up, but they're a little bit too late. Anti-Mage is going to split with the BKs happen from Arzart. He's going to be jumping to Aki. Aki looks very unlikely to live. He doesn't even get his first cast off. The Nether Ward picks off the kill. And now Misery being pursued. Radiance is transferred to the Lone Druid. They're doing pretty good damage here. I see another Demonic Purge. The stun is going to land. Great Deafening Blast. Misery gets silenced, gets the Ravage off right before he goes down at least. And Havos at half HP picks off Shadow Demon, still pursuing. Pugnant does get dropped.
LT was huge.
It did AoE damage on Leshrac as well, and Arzart is so low to death, but they really want to kill Loda here. They finally get an entangle. He does get picked off, but trading with Leshrac there, and now auto-attacking in on the Anti-Mage Manta splits again, and Light of Heaven will be respawning. Great plays from Light of Heaven. He transferred his AC before he died here, and Havos going to pull the attention back as he escapes, I guess.
Yeah, that was a... Misery got it Ravage off at the split second he's about to die. He switched his treads to Intel and he got it off, or else he wouldn't have had it. So really clutch move by Misery there. So they did get 2 kills, and I think it was the best possible scenario for CLG, and they got Light of Heaven's Aegis. So
I'm really impressed how like fast Light of Heaven is transferring his items in a team fight. I'm just like, he goes from having Radiance on Bear, puts it on his primary hero, transfers the AC as well. Just imagine like misclicking that, and it's like, oh, there goes a 5,000 gold item or something. That would be crazy. You have to be so confident to do that.
Yeah, he's doing really well with the Bear. But even then, there's just so much damage by Pycat right now, and I just wonder, I think he's going to go for the Butterfly next. Probably the most logical choice, like you said.
He is up to 5k gold, so still needs about 1k before he can get to that point. Once again, he doesn't have a Battle Fury, and one problem with that as well is that your mana regen is not nearly as good. Battle Fury,
and you can't split push lanes as fast.
That's also true. Manta really burns through your mana really quickly. So.
And he did buy the Eco Song, so he's going to have a Butterfly in around another 1k or so.
And Navi pushing out bot just a little bit. Hovost, no new items there. Doesn't have his. He actually has the money for the BKB. He could purchase it right now. And Puppy's been the guy that's been dying a lot. Actually, his HP is not nearly as high as it could be. The problem is that his mana gets really low, and then Anti-Mage comes in and just one shots him with an ulti. So it's pretty hard to stop that from happening.
Looks like Pycat's going to be pushing top, but if he TPs now, he's not going to have enough mana to actually stay in the fight and use his mana void. So he's going to TP back to that base. He has to heal up, and then he has to go fight.
He does pick up the Eagle Song. There will be a glyph though. And the bonus damage on the Spirit Bearer is doing some nice damage. Just the Plague Ward, or so the Nether Ward goes down, so we'll be reflecting some damage. We'll see if somebody targets it. Loda is going for it. There's a Pipe Pop as well, but jumping on Miracle Tornado might get the last hit. Yes, he does drop down. Nice Meteor Blast on Aki, and Aki is going to drop next. Still nobody on the Dire team is really that threat. Dendy 4 steps away. Puppy's completely out of mana. Here comes the kill. 1,300 damage being done there. Tide Ravage catches Habost. Ours Art is still up, and Light of Heaven doing the same. A lot of auto attacking going in. Anti-Mage silence. He does get entangled. He's on top of the ice wall. The blink comes out last second, but the Urn and the blink forward from Dendy gets the last kill, and more entangles on the creeps. And surprisingly, only 2 heroes dead. We're gonna see a buyback from Anti-Mage now. They want to defend a double Rex. There's a Sunstrike. Dendy might actually die from this, and yes, great buyback. Tidehunter gets the last hit, and CLG is able to prevent a 2 Rex instead of just a 1 Rex.
Light of Heaven keeps getting these really clutch entangles off. Like earlier, he got one, and again, that just totally killed the Pyket there.
Well, that's why they picked the hero. It's yeah, it stops you from blinking. It's only 20% chance, so it's not a very high chance of happening. But when it does happen, it's so nice. It does really good damage as well. So you just gotta hope, pray that the entangles come through at the right time, and they happen to work that time, especially on top of the ice wall, and they had to earn all the other bonus damage. So
that's the thing, though. That's their only real disable is that entangle on the AM. They don't really have other core stun. I mean, maybe Leshrac, but that's about it at this point.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I'm surprised they're able to teamfight so effectively. Probably just because they have such a gold advantage.
Yeah, I think it's because of the gold advantage mainly. They just have so many more items than CLG, but it just shows the power of the anti-mage. Like, even with all this gold advantage, they're still coming somewhat even in the fights. But that fight was pretty big since they lost their bottom racks.
Yeah.
And Pyket had to buy back.
I kind of feel bad for Puppy. Just keeps getting single ulted and just dies. He can be like full HP, dead. Every single
I think
time.
at that point he just doesn't care because he did his job. They got the racks, and it's always worth it to get a racks.
Maybe he should just buy like a Ghost Scepter or a Yule's or something that really increases his mana regen, something like that perhaps. Even a sheep, but I don't know. It's not, yeah, like you said, they're still winning the team fights, so.
Right now. And Pyket's pretty close to his butterfly. He's another 400 gold away from that.
How much did he spend on his buyback?
It wasn't
a lot.
that. He didn't lose much gold after the kill, but
That's true. He's gonna find Havos actually. Havos does not want to make it nighttime if he doesn't have to. His BKB is up, so he's gonna be absolutely fine. But wants to try to save it until at least nighttime or the next team fight location. It has a pretty low cooldown. It's not too bad. 80 seconds up, 40 seconds down. But it would be nice to be. Oh, it's actually gonna be an MKB pickup on Lone Druid. Cool stuff. So predicting the butterfly pickup picks up the MKB to get true strikes. That means there is no evasion brought into the equation. Really interesting item build.
yeah, interesting. He has a Monkey King Bar already. Wow,
Yeah.
it's a lot of farm. That's one farm Syllabear.
And considering how he started off, he's at 520 gold per minute right now. He's matching Anti-Mage just about. Who does have Butterfly at least?
That's insane farm I let him. He caught up so well after that. Yeah, really one of the best farmers.
Spare's more or less naked at this point. His primary hero, extremely tanky, very good at being aggressive. And CLG might trade a tier 2. They're going to take the tier 2. I assume they're going to back off. I don't think they can. They're going to actually. Anti-Mage does not actually have a TP scroll, so he's going to be blinking back. We'll see if. No, Navi's going to back off as well. So after the tier 2 tower goes down, they don't decide to push in. And Leshrac also going for an Agnum Scepter, so spending his mana for as much burst damage as possible before he dies.
Miracle is up. I think he's gonna go for the BKB. He's pretty far. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna get that within the next push that Navi's gonna do. They're all gonna assemble mid right now. Dendy got his Aghanims. He's level 17, so he's super sane right now.
2-second cooldown on the ulti. Yeah, that's pretty good. It might as well be WTF mode.
Yeah. And Misery got his blink. That's actually pretty big. He's not level 16 yet. Oh my god, he's one creep away from 16. I think he's gonna get it before they push though.
Yeah, he can just go mid and sap some EXP there. Blink is so important for Tide because otherwise it's super obvious that he's about to initiate. So you can just fear him or disable him, throw him up with the tornado or something like that. So it's really, really nice to be able to have that Blink dagger up. You can just hop into the team fight, start it off right for the Radiant team, and maybe their anti-mage at that point will be able to get a lot more damage off during his first initial Manta split.
It looks like Puppy actually checked in Roche, so they didn't keep a Roche timer up, but it should be up within the next 2 minutes or so. So I think they did it around 34 minutes or 35. Not entirely sure, but somewhere around that.
And he's shifting over. Arzart also. Still regular boots up on Arzart. Unless did he disassemble Arcane maybe? No, he did not.
Yeah. I think CLG can maybe try and smoke gank somewhere, some awkward angle. They can maybe pick off a few arrows, because they need to stall their push as long as possible for maybe Pycat to get another item on. If they can catch off maybe like Puppies farming somewhere or Dendi farming, that's going to be big. Even Light of Heaven doesn't have an Aegis right now. They can still do a lot of damage. And his items are all on the main bear.
I'm so confused why he switches so often. Do you think he just does it for fun or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's got to take like 5 seconds at least for him to transfer, like manually transfer 4 items.
Maybe as a macro, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they need to smoke gank. Oh, they did smoke gank, right? Yeah, they did smoke gank. I think it's still bugged though, because I don't see Misery in the smoke.
Yeah, it is. They're gonna find Pugna illusions, but they're gonna walk past that. They realize, and waiting for the Aegis to be up. So I'm assuming since CLG is coming in here, BKB is up on the Venomancer. Anti-Mage is gonna be walking in. Does spot some Forged Spirits at least, but Navi immediately backs up. TP comes from Arzart as well, and they still have Night Stalker ulti getting ready to use that one. I think this is the main reason they haven't been aggressive here. They didn't want to have to rely on Night Stalker vision to engage their team fights. But now that it's about to become nighttime, they're going to have the Aghanim Scepter up. They'll have perfect unobstructed vision on the Night Stalker, and they can choose their battles when they want them to happen, when they're favorable for them.
Yeah, it looks like bottom's pushing, so... The thing is, when you know another team's going to smoke gank is when they're all missing from the map and your lanes are pushing and no one's there to defend. So it's really obvious right now. Look how Anti-Mage runs with the haste. He looks like Goku.
Oh my gosh. Or, yeah, anybody from any anime ever.
Yep. That looks sick. I love you, Valve.
If Luminous was here, he would be so excited. He's probably watching anyways, but that's awesome. Just adding stuff like that is so cool. I love that they do that. Just stuff that I never would have expected to be ever added in the game. It's really cool. So, I think, who is that? I think Silver does something like that. It looks like he's surfing. It's really weird right now. I might be wrong though. I swear I've seen something like that, like a surfing Syllabear on the ground. I don't know how he surfs on the ground, but see a Sunstrike somewhere.
I wanted to get out of the haste just to watch him.
I know what I'm doing immediately after this game. Testing all of these speed runs up. There's gonna be a little bit of a tornado on Loda at least. Dendi only with 1 level Wex though, and there's the blinking going for Misery. BKB popped on Arzart, so he's okay trading hits, eats a Demonic Purge as well. Nice Tide Ravage, but a lot of BKBs up on a lot of targets. Items are on the bear though, so looking for the Entangle on a couple main targets. Loda's backing up, and Navos trying to pick off Aki. Will he? Oh, he's going to barely survive. He uses the Void to get the kill, though. Light of Heaven now backing up a little bit. Bear doing some decent damage, but actually dying to the Anti-Mage. He's got to be careful. He does have a respawn if it dies, though. And surprisingly, Navi actually kind of trading even on their first team fight. The first one they haven't won.
It's because of the Butterfly. It's just they have no damage to actually kill him right now, since he has all that evasion. I mean, they do have the MKB, but even with that, it's just hard to keep him down. They don't have any base stun. Nice Soul Catcher right now on Xbox. If they get a good bite off, yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he's going to get trapped. Great Tornado puts him up in the air, and Meteor as well. Good
Wow,
Deafening Blast.
Dendi.
That's going to hold him back for a little bit. There's the Decrep. Another good Force Staff. Os tries to run away. Great Ice Wall. Puppy's in the mix, though, draining his mana like crazy here. And here comes the Lifesteal. The Lifesteal goes on. The Fear gets disrupted again by Miracle. Great play by Miracle. Can he blink out? He's still feared, and it looks like he's gonna... Oh my gosh, he's gonna survive. Miracle saves the Anti-Mage. They still won a good team fight, though, picking up both the Venomancer as well as the Tidehunter. And the Aegis is up, so they can take the Roshan, but huge save by Miracle. Big time there.
That was Dendi, too, for Navi. Like,
Yeah.
even though that was amazing, like that cliff, as soon as they went in that gap, he had a Meteor, a Blast, as soon as Pacat was going to get that extra hit in to kill Havost. Amazing play. And he got the Ice Wall in finally. And the Cold Snap. Like, really good spell usage by Dendi.
And it looks like Havost picks up the cheese. Who had the Aegis? The bear? I'm assuming. Yes, he did pick it up. He's grabbing an Eagle Song for his primary hero. Very, very good choice there. If he puts an Eagle Song or a Butterfly on his primary hero, he's going to be dodging all those Anti-Mage hits. He transfers his items again, so putting the bear back to regular Vlad's. But I think this is a good choice, though, because I saw the bear fighting the Anti-Mage. It wasn't going so hot. They were not trading evenly on hits, despite having the MKB. So put the Vlads on the Spirit Bear, give the Lone Druid the good stuff, and he can just right-click like crazy.
How is he get so farmed after every fight? Amazing.
That's pretty good. 541 gold per minute. He's actually matching the Anti-Mage. Now, Anti-Mage doesn't have a Battle Fury, but...
Yeah, just sick farm.
Looking for the entangles, putting some hits in. There's the fear and the slow. There's another slow as well. He's about to be able to blink in 1 more second. Needs to get the entangle off. Nothing. He blinks away. Unfortunately, the bear not quite fast enough. I think this would be a good time to put like phase on the bear maybe, because just an entangle right there would have been huge. He had buyback, but still.
Even with that, like the damage he was doing to Pycat was phenomenal with the MKB, the Eagle Song. Yep, that's one fat solo there.
And they will pick off Crystal Maiden, but not the biggest loss ever for their team fight. She's just kind of an easy target to go for anyways. Night Stalker might jump on Miracle. He's going to disrupt, hitting on the tower though. There's going to be a glyph. Alacrity actually going on the bear, and the ulti's one Havost, so Havost might take a lot of damage. Good force staff once again from Dendy, putting him back on the low ground. Didn't force him to use Cheese. Great blink ulti from Misery though. Catching a lot of heroes, and Anti-Mage Manta splits. Great Tornado putting Anti-Mage up in there, and the Deafening Blast. Dendy focusing all of his efforts on preventing Anti-Mage from doing any damage at all, and Misery gets dropped down. The Ice Wall prevents the retreat. That's 3 heroes dying. Cheese was used on Night Stalker. Lone Druid has not died. No Aegis up on him, and that's the second Rax.
Like the spell usage, the way they team fight is just so much better than every other team out there. As soon as Pycat blinks in, Dendy had his Tornado up, he had his Meteor up, he had his Blast up. He was Cold Snap right after that. Like the spell usage, this is why Dendy's like one of the best players right now, because no matter what's going on in the fight, he knows what to do. He force staffed Havost from up, and looks like he used the ulti on Leshrac, but he lived.
Yeah, he BKB'd at the perfect time there. Dendy a little scared. It's going to be BKB actually up on Anti-Mage, and Dendy goes invisible to reduce his attack speed. There's the entangle. Could be Anti-Mage's death, and he does get picked off. Another Gale going down, but they called good game. That is a Mega Creeps, and Navi takes it 2-0 against CLG. Much closer game than the first one, but still, both teams played that very effectively.
Yeah, I mean, that was just phenomenal play. I think Dendy was the MVP of that last fight. The way he used his spell was just awesome, especially me loving Invoker and watching him play like that. Amazing.
One excellent set. Alright, so yeah, letting Dendy play Invoker 2 games in a row. Well, I mean, they had the Anti-Mage. They put Pycat on his good hero, but unfortunately had to go for the Vanguard before the Battle Fury, and his farm was not nearly high enough, I guess, and Lone Druid ended up carrying the game despite starting off a little rough.
Yep. I think regardless of what happened, though, they had a huge gold lead, and at that point they were just playing, like, AM was just the only farm player on the team. I think even though Loda had somewhat good farm, he didn't do much later on, because Veno just can't out-DPS all their heroes, and I think Light of Heaven is the other MVP. Regardless of the position he was put on early game, he's up to 617 gold per minute, which is higher than Dendy's. I mean, Pycat's, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing for sure. Alright, thanks for tuning in, guys. This is our presentation, Day 2 of the Star Series tournament. Tomorrow, I believe, will be the... we're going to first watch CLG play against M5. I think M5 will have a disadvantage because they have not lost yet, unless I guess they're equal terms now because they're both in losers brackets. So it'll be M5 versus CLG first. That'll probably be a best of 3, and then the finals will be played Navi versus the winner of that match, and Navi will have an advantage because they haven't lost a set yet. So that's tomorrow for the finals.
Is the grand finals are tomorrow?
It's tomorrow Sunday? Or is it
Saturday.
Tomorrow Saturday?
Yeah.
Well, shit, I'm wrong then. I know the finals are on Sunday, and I know something's happening tomorrow. So I assumed it would just be 2 more best of 3s. I'll have to check the schedule. I'm sorry, I'm uninformed. Spouty nonsense, excuse me. So, but we'll be back tomorrow for sure with some more games from the Star Series LAN finals in Kiev. Thanks again, Bulba, for tuning in. Do you have any shoutouts?
Shout out to Demon, Fear, Demise, Mikey, and Anidota. And shout out to that Lone Druid. I think it was like the first game I actually saw Lone Druid do really well. So far, noted too. And I think Puppy said it on Toby's stream the other day, where it's like only certain teams know how to use him, and they used it really well. And shout out to Light of Heaven for just showing us how to play the hero.
Yeah, he played really effectively. All right, if you guys want to see any more from me, go follow me on Facebook or Twitter. I'll always announce when I'm streaming for the day. It's facebook.com/PurgeGamers or twitter.com/PurgeGamers, either one. Or check out my YouTube channel. Just go search Purge Gamers on YouTube, and you can find it there. All right, thanks again for watching, guys. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.